Have you ever felt that strange moment when you realize time is moving faster than your old plans can keep up with it? Have you ever looked at aging and wondered if the real problem is not the years themselves, but the fear you carry in your mind about what those years mean? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to talk about embracing aging with wisdom. Not the kind of wisdom that sounds impressive, but the kind that actually changes how your days feel. Because aging is not only a physical event, aging is a spiritual event. It exposes what you cling to. It reveals what you fear. It shows you which habits were harmless when you were younger but become heavy later. And it also offers something rare, a chance to stop living by reflex and start living by practice. Many people treat aging like a verdict. They see wrinkles, slower energy, more careful movement, and they assume life is shrinking. But Buddhist wisdom asks a different question. What if aging is not only loss? What if aging is the path that finally forces you to let go of illusions? What if the later years are not the end of your life, but the beginning of a truer life? I want to begin with a story, because this is not about theory. This is about what happens to a real human heart. Imagine someone named Thomas. He is 68. He is not in a crisis, but he is not comfortable either. He notices his body does not recover as quickly. He notices some friends are talking about medical visits more than vacations. He notices the world feels louder, faster, and sometimes harsher. He also notices a quiet anxiety that comes and goes like weather. At night, he sometimes lies awake thinking about the future. What if I get sick? What if I lose independence? What if I become a burden? What if I die with regret? During the day, he tries to stay busy so he will not feel those thoughts. But the busier he becomes, the more tired he feels. One afternoon, he visits a friend who has been practicing Buddhist meditation for years. Thomas expects the friend to offer simple comfort, maybe a joke, maybe a motivational line. Instead, the friend asks him something gentle and direct. When you say you fear aging, what do you actually fear losing? Thomas pauses because he realizes he has never answered that question honestly. He says he fears losing health. He fears losing respect. He fears losing usefulness. He fears losing control. And then he admits something that surprises him. He fears losing the image of himself as someone who has it together. His friend nods and says, "That is not a body problem. That is a clinging problem." That sentence feels sharp at first, but then it feels like a door opening, because Thomas realizes he has been treating aging like an enemy, when the real enemy is the way his mind grips and resists. So his friend shares 5 Buddhist lessons, not to make Thomas religious, but to make him freer. And these lessons begin changing how Thomas lies inside his own days. The first lesson is to befriend impermanence instead of arguing with it. Most fear around aging comes from wanting life to stop changing. The mind wants the body to remain familiar. The mind wants people to remain close. The mind wants the future to remain predictable. But life does not agree. Life changes. Bodies change. Relationships change. Conditions change. Even your mood changes are to hour. Buddhism calls this impermanence, not as a depressing thought, but as the most practical truth you can learn. Because once you accept impermanence, you stop being shocked by reality. You stop reading change as personal betrayal, and you start using your energy for wise care rather than mental war. Thomas begins practicing impermanence in small ways. When he feels stiffness in the morning, he stops saying this should not be happening. He says, "Change is here." When he feels sadness about a friend moving away, He stops saying life is unfair. He says, connection changes form. When he enjoys a good day, he stops gripping it with fear. He says, this is precious because it changes. This shifts his nervous system. He still experiences pain, but he suffers less. He still experiences loss, but he resists less. And the less he resists, the more peace he has available. The second lesson is to understand that suffering is not the same as pain. Old age may bring more physical discomfort, more limitations, more uncertainty. That is real. Buddhism does not deny that. But Buddhism also teaches that suffering is what the mind adds through resistance, fear stories, harsh self-judgment, and endless comparison. Pain is a sensation. Suffering is the story that says this sensation means I am finished. Thomas realizes he has been turning small body signals into big mental disasters. A sore knee becomes a future where he cannot walk. A tired day becomes proof that he is declining rapidly. A forgetful moment becomes fear of losing his mind. He sees how the mind tries to protect him by imagining worst-case scenarios, but it ends up exhausting him. So he practices a new approach. When discomfort arises, he names it without panic. Tightness is here, ache is here, fatigue is here. Then he asks, what is the wise response right now? Sometimes the wise response is rest. Sometimes it is movement. Sometimes it is water. Sometimes it is medical care. Sometimes it is simply breathing and relaxing the muscles around the sensation. This is not denial. This is skill. The body still has challenges, but the mind stops adding unnecessary torment. The third lesson is to loosen identity, because identity is often the hidden source of fear. People say they fear aging because the body changes, but often what they fear is identity loss. They fear losing the role that made them feel valuable. Worker, provider, caregiver, leader, attractive person, independent person, strong person. The mind clings to these identities and treats change as humiliation. Buddhism teaches not self. This does not mean you do not exist. It means the self you cling to is not fixed. It is a changing process. When you cling to a fixed identity, you suffer when it changes. When you loosen identity, you gain flexibility. Thomas notices he has been living with a silent rule. I must be capable at all times. That rule made him hide pain. It made him refuse help. It made him shame himself for needing rest. It made him panic when his energy dropped. So he begins practicing a gentler identity. Instead of being the strong one, he becomes the honest one. Instead of being the fixer, he becomes the learner. Instead of being the one who never needs help, he becomes the one who can receive help with dignity. This changes his relationships too. People feel closer to him because he is less guarded, and he feels less alone because he stops performing strength and starts practicing presence. The fourth lesson is to cultivate compassion, especially toward yourself. Many people carry a harsh inner voice into old age. The voice criticizes the body. It criticizes the pace. It criticizes the need for rest. It criticizes the changing appearance. It criticizes the past. It says you wasted time. You should have done more. You should be better. Buddhism says you cannot hate yourself into peace. Compassion is not weakness. Compassion is courage. It is meeting suffering with kindness. So you stop adding cruelty to what is already hard. Thomas begins a simple compassion practice. When fear arises, he places a hand on his chest and says quietly, "Fear is here, and I will be kind." When he feels shame about aging, he says, "This is human. and I will not punish myself. When he feels regret, he says, I will learn, and I will plant new causes now. He also practices compassion outward. He notices older people around him and stops judging them. He sees their vulnerability and feels tenderness instead of superiority or discomfort. This tenderness changes him. It makes him softer, and the softer he becomes, the more graceful aging feels. The fifth lesson is to live with wise effort and meaning, so you stop postponing peace. Aging can create two extremes. Some people give up and become passive. Other people panic and try to squeeze everything from life in a frantic way. Buddhism teaches the middle way. Wise effort. You take practical care without obsession. You rest without collapse. You act without panic. You choose meaning instead of noise. Thomas realizes he has been postponing peace. He kept thinking he would relax later, after this obligation, after that worry, after this problem is solved. But conditions keep changing. If he keeps postponing peace, he may never arrive. So he begins living differently. He simplifies his schedule. He limits what he consumes mentally. He walks daily and treats it like meditation, feeling each step. He improves sleep habits. He drinks more water. He eats more slowly. He visits doctors without shame when needed. He repairs relationships where possible. He stops wasting energy on trivial arguments. He speaks love sooner. He apologizes faster. He forgives more quickly. He does not do these things to become perfect. He does them to live the rest of his life with a cleaner heart. And something subtle happens. He starts feeling younger in the ways that actually matter. Not younger in appearance, younger in spirit, more curious, more present, more grateful, less reactive, less bitter, less afraid. Now I want to bring these 5 lessons into one continuous moment, because wisdom becomes real when it becomes ordinary. Imagine you wake up tomorrow and feel stiffness. Instead of insulting your body, you breathe and say, change is here. You move gently. You drink water. You care without panic. Later, a worry thought arrives about the future. Instead of obeying it, you label it and return to the present. Later, you feel sadness about something you lost. You allow the sadness and you speak kindly to yourself. Later, you face imitation. Instead of clinging to pride, you ask for help without shame. Later, you notice you are comparing yourself to someone else. You return to your own path and ask what your life needs today. At night, you remember time is precious and you choose one meaningful action. A message to someone you love, a quiet moment of gratitude, a small act of generosity, a sincere apology, a breath. This is what embracing aging with wisdom looks like. It is not one heroic moment. It is 1,000 small returns. I also want to speak honestly about the deeper fear behind aging. Many people fear death. They fear disappearance. They fear the unknown. Buddhism does not offer a shallow promise that death is not real. Buddhism offers a path that prepares the mind. It teaches that when you practice mindfulness, compassion, and letting go, you suffer less now and you face the end with more clarity. You stop living as if you have endless time, and you start living as if love matters today. Thomas eventually tells his friends something that sounds simple but carries a whole transformation. He says, I used to think aging was a downhill road. Now I think it is a teacher. It is showing me what I must release if I want peace. That is the heart of this message. Aging will happen. The question is whether you will age with bitterness or with wisdom, whether you will cling or release, whether you will fight reality or practice with it. whether you will postpone peace or begin it now. Before we end, I want to ask you something personal. When you think about getting older, what is the one thing you fear losing the most? And what would it feel like to loosen your grip on that fear just a little today? Share your thoughts in the comments if you want to. Your story might help someone else who is quietly afraid feel less alone. If this video helped you, please support the channel by subscribing, liking, and commenting. It helps more people find calm wisdom when they need it most. Thank you for spending this time with me. Take one slow breath right now. Feel your body supported. Let the shoulders soften. Let the jaw relax. And remember, embracing aging with wisdom does not mean you never feel fear. It means you stop letting fear drive. You practice. You return. You become gentler. You become clearer. And you discover that peace was never waiting in the future. Peace is something you cultivate in the life you have today. Until next time, be gentle, be steady, and keep coming home to what matters.